Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from Ncaa, and welcome to the recruiting special here in season number 2 in the Cocoa Beach Dynasty. We just got a good look at James Griffin. He is a very good cornerback, average potential, but I think that I can work on him, especially with summer drills and stuff like that. I think that he would be an awesome fit in the secondary. We definitely need it this year. He runs a 4.45. And I think that adding some more speed to our team will definitely help. Now, let's take a look at the rest of the recruits here in season number 2. Our number 1 recruit is tackle Steve Smith. You know, one thing about this season, it's been pretty good as far as quarterback play. I don't want to say it's been bad at all. It's not been bad. It's been a lot more improved than last year, but our tackles still have issues. And one thing about Smith is that he has good potential. He was a 4-year starter in high school. He can also block for the run as well as the pass, keeping our quarterback upright because, you know, Bamaya's got hit quite a bit this year. And honestly, that's what kind of put the freshman Jeffrey in as well. And now we move on to tight end. Jonathan Davis is an interesting guy. You know, we don't really need tight end, but we do. We had Takahashi as our backup tight end right now, and he is a senior. He's going to be graduating. But I need to give Tev Williams some help because I think that running 2 tight end sets is definitely something that we might have to do when we run the ball, you know, because I do want to run the ball a little more. I want that to be more of the focal point because passing still isn't in our strong suit. We can make passes now, but it's still not, you know, all there. And I think that Davis could definitely help. He's an athletic guy. I think he's going to really have to work on his hands, though. He doesn't come in as polished as Tev Williams did, but I think that he will be a guy with really good potential. Now let's stick at, you know, the receiving position, and we will go to Alvin Fenner. He is 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's got good size. I mean, that's pretty good. And he's got some great athleticism. Man, he has to work on his hands, though. He needs to be more consistent with his hands. But I am hoping that he will commit so I can have about maybe 2 years to develop him as kind of a backup. Because right now, you know, I do have a couple of guys that are getting older in our receiving core, like say for example Avery White. He is a senior this year. I'm gonna have to replace him, and then Perry Thompson is a junior. I mean, I'm gonna have to be thinking about receiver in the future. And one thing I want to do in this series is recruit for the future. I don't want to just recruit freshmen that will start right away. I want to recruit guys that I can groom into these roles, and I think that Fenner is a good potential guy. He has, you know, good speed, good athleticism, has those traits, but the hands definitely need to be worked on. So that's something that we will kind of, you know, make sure that we improve with him as time goes on. Now, I have not gone after quarterback yet here in this series, and one guy I do want to go after here is Paul Jack. He's another one of those guys that's down the road. I have no idea if he will even eventually end up playing at all. But he plays in a pro-style system in the state of Texas, and he's a very good winner and leader. But he definitely needs some work, and his accuracy isn't all there. His throw power isn't all there. So we're definitely going to need to have a couple of years to develop him, to be honest with you. He's got decent potential, so that's going to be good to develop here in our system. And that's one of those guys that it's going to be a couple of years for him to play. Now, here is Eugene Paul, another cornerback. I want to go after cornerback heavy here this year because we do kind of have a little issue at cornerback because, you know, Trayvon Scott is going to be moving on next year. He is a senior this year. But after him, we don't really have anybody. Michael Hartley is a good freshman right now, but he gets hurt. I mean, that's the thing with him. He just gets hurt every single game. So I definitely need to get a guy, at least depth there, so that, you know, in case of injury, we will have guys that will jump right in. Now, Daryl Matthews could well be the best player on our board. He is a center. It's not the most glamorous recruit, but a very good piece, a very important piece to this offense will be the offensive line, especially with how tough the CPU defense is. I'm going to need some good blockers, and honestly, I want to run the ball between the tackles. I haven't been able to truly do that yet. All of our big runs have been to the outside, and getting Matthews could be a huge piece to the future of our recruits. So let's take a look at the full recruiting board. James Griffin is a good player. He actually doesn't have a bad bench press or a bad squat, and he's got average potential and good discipline. We are the number 1 school on his board. He runs a 4.45, so I'm very happy about that. He's going to come in with good speed right away. I'm guessing that's about 86 87 speed just about. He's going to have good speed at the cornerback position, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do on our squad. I think we're going to be in the driver's seat to get him. Now, Steve Smith, we do have some ground to make up a little bit. We are behind Florida State, but look at him. A+ field awareness, good potential, and good discipline. Look at that squad, 555. He is a mammoth too, 6'6", 350. Man, is he good. We are only going after 1 stars once again. I'm only going to go after 2 stars until we're a 2-star school. So I'm going to stick to my guns there and keep it like we're going after 1 stars. We still get a pool of commits to a pool of recruits, I should say, to go after. So I want to keep that in mind, and I want to make this a difficult, long journey to rebuild this Cocoa Beach team. Now, Paul Jack, like I said, he has some deficiencies throwing the football, but he's a good leader. A- awareness, D+ arm strength, and F throw accuracy. It's going to be kind of a long shot for him, but he's got good potential. So that is a good thing. Now, poor discipline. If I do have to suspend him multiple times after, if he does commit, I could end up cutting him. Remember, I don't have to keep everybody. I can cut guys as I want. So we'll have to see how that goes. Jonathan Davis is another one of those guys that could need to develop a little bit more. I think the recruiting class this year isn't as, I would say, top heavy as last year. I think we had some guys that would come in right away and start, like Travian Snell and some other guys on our team like Eric Garcia. Now, Eugene Paul is pretty good. I like what he can do. He's definitely just a cornerback. He can play cornerback or safety, and he's got decent speed. He's going to come in kind of with 80 speed or so, I'm guessing. And you know what? He's just a good player. I think he's just a good player. We're competing with Florida State with a couple of these cornerback recruits, so we're definitely going to need to step up there, and hopefully we do get him to come. He has good speed, good field awareness, but he can't play offense, and he always wanted to play for Coach J, so that's a good sign there. So we are kind of in a 2-leg battle versus Florida State. Now, Alvin Fenner, we need to catch some ground. We are going up against Florida State with them. Florida State is taking all of our recruits here. Seems like Florida State and Clemson are the top 2 schools that we're always competing with in recruiting. But I'm hoping that we can, convince these guys to come. He's got A- field awareness, so that just tells me right there he's going to be a smart player and a pretty good developing player. He's got average potential, but I'm hoping that, the summer drills and everything, I can start to groom him early. So we will have to see how he develops in this system. He runs a 4.59, which isn't bad. It isn't fast as well, but, at receiver, you just want guys that can hold on to the football. Now, another tackle we're going after, he is number 8 in the country right now. Myron Jolly out of Hollywood, Florida, 6'6", 290. Isn't as strong as Steve Smith is, but he's pretty good. Good potential, too. So, hey, I love to have these good potential tackles so that, when we are training in the offseason, they will progress quite a bit and actually, develop in the system. The one thing about recruiting 1-star recruits is that you don't know what they're going to end up being, and having good potential guys, that definitely helps. So he is a good player, good field awareness, and we're in second with Florida State. I'm guessing that we could jump them. I could be moving around some points pretty soon. I'm not really sure yet, but I like Myron Jolly. He is a very, very good tackle, great size. Both of the tackles that we are recruiting here have very good size. So I definitely want to shore up that offensive line and see what we get with these guys. Now, Daryl Matthews isn't the top recruit, but he is one of my favorite because he's got good potential and good discipline. He is going to be a guy that I can shift over to guard if I want to. He doesn't have to play center. We're number 1 on his board. He is just very, very good. Actually, he actually is everything that you would want in a center or a guard. I mean, he has good size, pretty good size. Not, huge like Jolly or Steve Smith is, but he's pretty good. A center is not, like I said, the most glamorous position, but we do need that position going forward. Now, a couple of guys I did miss out on. Brandon Williams was a very good receiver. I wanted him really badly because look at that, good potential and excellent discipline. I haven't seen anybody that's been excellent potential yet, and maybe that's because I'm just going after 1 stars. Maybe if once we get to about 2 stars, 3 stars, we'll start to see the excellent potential. But good 40 time, and that was a thing that I wanted, a guy that can kind of blaze a little bit at receiver. I haven't seen too many fast receivers, like guys that run into 4.3s yet. But at 1 star, I mean, that's kind of what you get. You kind of get the guys that are 4, 4, 5. That's kind of like the fastest you'll get, and you'll get lucky if you do see some faster guys. And there's some other guys like Lewis Harrison we missed out on. He was a very good prospect, but I thought that offensive line was more important than going after defensive line at this moment. So let's just check out Pensacola. Now, you guys submitted recruits. They are not even, I mean, I don't know what's going on in Pensacola. They are 0-4 so far, but you guys submitted recruits to get into this class along with a mixture of the off-season recruiting as well. So you guys will be renamed to these guys that I'm recruiting and the guys that we recruit in the off-season. And then I also renamed you guys to the Pensacola roster like I said I would. So if you see your guy on this team, let me know down in the comment section. I tried to get as many guys in as I could. And, you know, a lot of offensive linemen, for example, you know, there wasn't a ton of them in the submissions, but I tried to rename the ones that I could. And I tried to rename a bunch of guys. So it's going to be Pensacola and Cocoa Beach, which guys will go to in this series. And eventually, way down the road, if we move on to a new conference, it will probably be another team that we start renaming as well. So I want to get you guys involved in this series in this way too, renaming our rival. We do play Pensacola in about 5 weeks or so. So right now we're not even close to playing them. We kind of play them towards the end of the year. So we'll have to see how they do, because I don't know if CPU teams do get demoted from conferences. I don't think I've seen it yet, but I guess we'll have to see, because Pensacola is very, very bad. I mean, they are very bad, and right now I don't see how. I mean, they have good players all around, but they just aren't winning games. But let me know if you see down in the comment section, or see if you see your guy here in the comment section. And we will move on to play some more conference play here in this series. And I really like what I'm seeing from the guys so far. You know, it's not always pretty. It's not always great, you know, but playing a whole lot better than last year. I got to say that. I mean, just look at, we have 2 receivers over 100 yards. We struggled to get 100 yards in a game last year, but now we're doing it pretty consistently. Tev Williams is really good. We got to get him the ball more. He's got 2 touchdowns, only 2 so far through the air. But we'll see how this season goes. I like what I'm seeing so far. So let me know what you guys think of the recruiting class. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys see yourself on another team, and just about the outlook of Cocoa Beach as a whole. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. Next episode, we will continue conference play. So stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah. Started from the mud, now you see us going up. Numbers never lie, now you see us blowing up. People used to front, now you see them showing up. So what's up? I've been down and out, but love, keep it a buck, I don't. Always been one up on all of these. They be trying to front for all of these.